Circles. You are given the circumference of the circle and the measure of the central angle ACB. Find the length of arc AB. The circumference equals 27 feet and angle ACB equals 80 degrees. If we look at the diagram, we're given the circumference of the circle, which is the distance around the circle, and that is the blue line of the circle. And then we're also given the central angle ACB. So that's represented by this angle here. And we're asked to find the length of arc AB. And the arc is right here, AB. In order to find the length of the arc AB, we can use a proportion formula, and I listed the proportion formula on the screen. This says that the measure of angle ACB over 360 degrees equals the length of arc AB over the circumference of the circle. So we're going to plug in the values that are given to us. The measure of angle ACB is 80 degrees, so this becomes 80 over 360 equals the length of arc AB. That's what we're trying to find, so I'm going to call this X. And that's over the circumference of the circle, which is 27 feet. In order to solve proportions, you just cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply the 80 times the 27, and then that equals the multiplication of the other diagonal, which is 360 times X. 80 times 27 is 2,160. And again, that equals 360x. We want to isolate the x, so we'll divide both sides by 360. And we get x equals 2,160 divided by 360, and that is 6. That means that the length of arc AB is 6 feet. You are given two of the following three pieces of information: the circumference of the circle, the measure of the central angle ACB, and the length of the arc. Find the third piece of information. We will use the same proportion formula. For this problem, we're given the measure of angle ACB. We're also given the length of arc AB, and we want to find the circumference of the circle. So we'll plug in the values that are given to us. The measure of angle ACB is 30 degrees, and that's over 360. This equals the length of arc AB, which is 240 centimeters, and that's over the circumference of the circle, which we're trying to find. So we'll call that X. Now we're going to cross multiply to solve. So 30 times X equals 360 times 240. 360 times 240 is 86,400. Next, we'll isolate the x by dividing both sides by 30. And we get x equals 86,400 divided by 30, which is 2,880. That means that the circumference of the circle is 2,880 centimeters. And this is our final answer.